Thank you for joining me on this episode of HWYSpec. We're going to spec out the new Hyundai Ioniq 6. Now you might be thinking, why are we speccing out the Ioniq 6? And frankly, it's because I like it. I know, very controversial to say, but if you know anything about me, you know I kind of like the controversial looking cars.
What?
Anytime I talk about this on a group text with some of my friends, they always make fun of the rear end of this. And I get it, but there's something about it that I still like. In fact, Car and Driver just named it their best electric vehicle of the year. Now, the Ioniq 6 does come in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive up to 320 horsepower, up to 361 miles of range, and it starts at $42,450. And that's not all. They're not moving very fast, so dealers are discounting them significantly. And as I pulled up the website, it shows 2.99% financing, which in today's day and age is really good. So they're trying to get people to buy them.
Duh.
And that's where I come in. I'm going to spec one out and see the way that I would do it, and you can tell me how you would do it in the comments. First and foremost, we have to pick a trim level. You've got the SE, the SEL, and the Limited. Now, even the SE model does give you a 12.3-inch infotainment screen, which is pretty good, and features rear-wheel drive as standard with 225 horsepower, or the all-wheel drive model with 320 horsepower. The SEL model offers a few more features, and in doing so, its range drops a little bit, but it still offers the same horsepower level for the rear-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive models. And finally, we get to the Limited model, which offers the remote parking assist, where you can actually pull out the vehicle from a key fob out of a parking spot, as well as the blind spot view monitor, which is really cool, and a wide sunroof. So for me personally, I want the tech features, so we're going to go ahead and select the Limited model. Now, if you've spec'd out any vehicles with me before, you know where I'm going with this one. Because it is so controversial looking, I am going to choose black. I'm not even going to look at the other colors. I've seen the other colors in person. However, black is the one that tones it down the most, and I think it is the one that looks the best. To me, the rear end isn't as controversial as the front end. It just kind of looks like a plain slab with some headlights thrown on it. But the side profile, that's what I like. So we're going to go ahead and pick this. Coming to the interior, you have the unique Ioniq steering wheel badge, and we have an option of black or gray interiors, and for me personally, I'm going with the gray. And here you can see it is pretty simple, but it's not overly minimalist like you would have in a Tesla. This is actually has some hard buttons, which is really nice, and the way that I would personally prefer it to be. Now, of course, we do have to pick a drivetrain, and for me personally, I'm going with the all-wheel drive because it gives you more power, better acceleration, and I do live in a climate where we get 4 seasons. So that adds $3,500 just by adding that all-wheel drive option, and then we get into some of the accessories. Now, these are obviously something that is very personal to you. However, for me, I'll show you a couple of things that I would personally choose. One is actually the charging port applique, so you don't actually end up scratching the area around the charging port. Same goes for the rear bumper applique. And here's something cool, the outside V2L adapter. This will actually allows you to have a 3-prong outlet in the back of the vehicle so that you can power things up. Whether it's tailgating, charging batteries of other devices, whatever the case may be, does give you that option, and I like that. Going to skip over the rest of the accessories, and we'll see where that puts us at. For some reason, every time I go ahead and click through to finish build, it takes away the all-wheel drive drivetrain. However, it is there in the way that I would build it, and that puts us just over $55,000, which is not reflected here because it takes that $3,500 off. The way I would spec it is the black exterior with the gray interior, the Limited model, adding just a couple of the accessories that are available on this vehicle, and going with the all-wheel drive drivetrain, making it 320 horsepower and just under 300 miles of range. What do you think of my Ioniq 6 build? What would you do differently? Make sure to drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking, and I will catch you on the next one.